Hey guys, I'm WC 2015 and you're looking at the brand new Blackphone 2, one of the most secure device apparently. Now I'm going to give you a quick overview of the hardware and then we'll show you the user interface. Now note that the Blackphone 2's user interface is not exactly ready, it's a demo device. So I'm going to ask help from Megal to show us the user interface in the Blackphone 1, but we'll talk about the hardware of the Blackphone 2 nonetheless. Megal, please.
Well, this is Blackphone 2. Okay, as you said, this is the successor for Blackphone 1, which was the device we presented in Mobile World Congress 2014. Now we are presenting this one and our Blackphone Plus, our tablet, part of some exciting new features that I will explain you later. Well, basically this is a 5.5 inches device with a 5.5 inches screen, full HD, IPS. We are including 3 gigs of RAM and an octa-core processor from Qualcomm, which is specifically the Snapdragon 615. The battery we are including in the device is 3060 milliamperes per hour, and as you see, is
what's the memory and the storage, please?
32 gigabytes storage, and it you can even include an SD card up to 64 gigabytes.
And what's the RAM? Do you have like 2 GB RAM, 3 GB RAM?
3 gigs.
3 gigs of RAM.
Yeah,
perfect.
3 gigs of RAM.
So it has all the latest specs that we can expect from a flagship.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. On top of that, as you see, well, comparing the ID with the old one is much more nicer, and as you can see, it's fully covered with Gorilla Glass, 3rd generation Gorilla Glass.
Cool.
Just make it convenient.
Can you talk about the camera just a bit?
Yeah, definitely. The camera is a 13 megapixels camera, the sensor.
It's also accompanied by an LED flash. It's a dual tone flash, which is going to make your white balance that more accurate. Yeah?
That's right. And the frontal camera is a 5 megapixels camera.
Cool.
Okay, so in terms of our operating system, or Private OS, as you probably know, Private OS is a fork of Android. We took AOSP version of Android and modified it to include vulnerability patches, to include security features, and so on. So, as you can see, the interface is quite similar to an Android. Actually, it's compatible with Android applications and so on. And, well, basically, this is the home screen, and here you can see our main applications in terms of privacy we are including. We are including Silent Phone, Silent Text, and Silent Contacts. Silent Phone allows you to perform voice calls and video calls totally encrypted, peer-to-peer. The encryption keys are stored only in the device and are destroyed every time you make a new communication. That means that nobody can take your encryption key and then use it for the encrypt further communication, because the encryption key will change, you know. Exactly the same with Silent Text, that allows you to make, to send text messages and to transfer files up to 100 megabytes. Then we have Silent Contacts. Silent Contacts is a safe container for the contacts you have in Silent Phone and Silent Text. We are including a bunch of applications in terms of security and privacy, like Secure Wireless, that will be a portable VPN, quite easy of use. Our security center that allows you to manage all the security stuff and to manage the permission an application have. Let's put an example. Let's go to the browser, for instance. We can obviously browse in our browser. Okay. It's browsing perfectly. If we go to Security Center and we say, oh, okay, you don't have access to the network, then we go, we try it, and it's not working.
So even if you switch on the Wi-Fi and 3G, it's not going to connect to a website?
That's right, that's right. Every time you install an application in Blackphone, in private OS, the system will offer you to set up all these settings. So you can deny the access to your contacts, or you can deny the access to your messages, or to the network, or whatever you want to do with the application. With a regular Android, you have two options. You can install the application or not to install it, you know? You can install it, and then you can modify the permissions.
You can basically customize the privacy, each aspect of the privacy of each apps, right? Like browsers and others.
That's right. Well, the browser maybe is a silly example, you know, but if you go for whatever social network application, you don't have to have access to your contacts, for instance, and things like that. We think it's pretty useful. We are including...
Pause. Do you have user level differentiation on, like let's say in case of a PC, if two users are using, like, they have different amounts of effort.
I'm just about to talk about it.
Sure.
Yeah, you're reading my mind. In this Mobile World Congress, we are presenting two exciting features, new features in our operating system. One will be Silent Store. Silent Store is our own store, including application privacy-minded. Okay. All the applications are backed by silent circles, so we decide if it is good enough for your privacy or not, and we will include it or not, depending on this kind of things. On top of that, we are including spaces. I will show you in the security center again. Spaces, it's like a compartmentalization of the operating system, okay? So I always use the same example. You will have your silent space, which is the space where you have your privacy applications, you will store your contacts, your emails, everything you think is sensitive, you can store it here, and it's going to be safe. Let's imagine you have a child, you have a kid, and well, you want to allow your kid to play with your phone, but you are a little bit afraid that he can mess around with information or send emails or erase something. Then you can create a new space for him. This will be a new space, totally different. It's like you have two different operating systems. They cannot communicate between each other. I mean, if you install here an application, this application cannot get your contacts in the other space, cannot access. Okay. Here you can.
And you always have, maybe one particular admin account that you can, which you can erase other accounts and so on.
That's right. This will be the silent space.
Okay.
When you unbox your iPhone, silent space is going to be there. Okay. It's going to be already created. That will be like the main space. And then you can create the spaces you want, and for the purposes you want. A very good example as well of the spaces is an IT manager, for instance. You can create spaces in, let me go to the silent space again. You can go here. If you push here, create a new space, you see this option, use a QR code. Let's put an example. An IT manager of a company can create a space, design a space, okay? He will decide the application this space is going to include, and then he's going to generate a QR code corresponding to this space.
Oh.
Then to set up all the devices of his company, of the Blackphones on his company, the only thing he have to do is to scan the QR code with the camera, and the space is going to be created automatically with the applications the IT manager wants to have in there.
That
and
looks
basically,
interesting.
yeah, definitely. And well, basically this is what we are presenting on Mobile World Congress this year.
Right. Does it run the usual Android apps, including the Google apps, like Google Play stores and stuff?
We are not including Google Play, and we are not including Google services. Okay. Simply we think the business model of Google, we think they have amazing services, but we think it's not really compatible with our way of doing business.
So the Blackphone 2 is mainly geared towards a user which is, let's say, very particular about his security and encryption stuff.
Right. We are
mainly towards the business users project.
Yeah. Currently, well, mainly we are focusing enterprises and business users. Although I think privacy is going to be a trend in very short time. In a couple of years, it's going to be a trend, and a lot of regular users, let's say like that, is gonna be interested in this kind of products. But because at the end, privacy is something important, and we will realize very soon.
Sure. So do you have a pricing and availability announcement here?
Pricing for Blackphone 1 is $6 to $9. The availability is worldwide. You can buy it in our store.
For the 2?
The price point of the 2 is going to be similar. It's going to be similar to Blackphone 1. So it's going to be around. It's going to be it's going to be about 6 to 9. Okay.
Okay, and that's despite of having the updated screen and features, updated screen and specs, because it has a bigger screen than Blackphone 1. So usually you expect the newer device to cost more, but you're saying that it's cost similar.
It's gonna be similar price point. I'm not sure it's gonna be 6 to 9 or 639, but it's gonna be around this price. So we are giving more at the same price.
Okay, thank you, Miguel. So that, guys, is the Blackphone 2. Thank you.